probably one of the best freshman classes in college basketball that we have seen in a very long time. I mean, it is absolutely stacked, and not just the freshmen, but the upperclassmen. There are some really good prospects in there as well as far as the NBA draft. This is one of the more stacked classes, I think, for the NBA draft that we have seen in quite some time. Not only are there multiple guys, Cam Boozer, AJ Dibansa, Darren Peterson, that could go number one in a lot of different classes, but it has insane depth as well. This is a very deep class, and we're going to break down some of my favorite prospects so far and a lot of these really good freshmen that are off to really good starts this college basketball season. So my top personal prospect, I'm not going to rank all these guys in order, it's more so just talking about most of these guys, but I will tell you my number one is Darren Peterson. I think that he is a do-it-all guard. You can play him as a shooting guard, as your main scorer, or you can play him as point guard. He has the playmaking ability to do that as well. I think he definitely needs to improve his playmaking ability if he wants to be an NBA point guard, but he has the size, has the strength, the athleticism, the shooting ability, the mid-range ability, driving ability, obviously. I mean, he's such a good athlete for the NBA as already as a shooting guard. I really do think he is kind of like that SGA type of build where he can definitely improve his playmaking ability enough to be that SGA type player. I think his mid-range game is super good. He's definitely my top prospect. Cam Boozer is my number two. I can't believe I have two guys above AJ Dibansa. Cam Boozer is a stud. I mean, that can really do it all. I mean, I really do see him as a 4 in the NBA, but he can stretch the floor. He can protect the rim, play defense. He's got really good strength as well. He can be a playmaker as a power forward as well. All around, super good player. Really like Cam Boozer as number 2. AJ Dibansa has the potential to be the best player in this class as well. Super athletic. Haven't seen too much of his three-point shot so far in college, but we're only a few games into the season. But where he has shown to be best is his athleticism, going downhill, getting to the rim. Very, very good. Obviously, a ton of potential in Dibansa's game. So many more freshmen. I'm not going to rank them all, but let's just talk about how stacked this class is. Koa Pete, off to an insane start to his season. I mean, he is absolutely huge. Already has an NBA body as a freshman in college. He was dominating Florida's very big and experienced front court that won the national championship. Florida brought back all of those guys in their front court from that national championship team last year, and Koa Pete babied them. I mean, it wasn't even close. He is so strong. The only question marks with him are obviously, is he going to be able to expand his range to the three-point line? But man, is he athletic, can play defense, can play make, great passer. I think with the start he's had to this season, he was already kind of a lottery player. I think he's more so looking towards the top 5, top 7 range for the NBA draft at this point. Other than Darren Peterson, my top guard is Darius Acuff Jr. I think that he has the potential to be a top 3 player in this draft class. I really do. I think, if it wasn't for Peterson, he has the potential to be the best point guard in this draft class. I mean, he really does remind you of De'Aaron Fox. Super fast player, but he can really shoot off the dribble. I think a lot better than De'Aaron Fox, at least when De'Aaron Fox was in college. He has the ability to shoot off the dribble, but he is fast and athletic. One of those point guards like a De'Aaron Fox and Darius Acuff Jr. And there, his buddy, another freshman that might go in the lottery, Malik Thomas, off to a great start. I mean, it reminds you of Malik Monk. It really does remind you of De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk when they were at Kentucky under Coach Cal. Is Darius Acuff Jr. and Malik Thomas. I mean, they really do look like that duo, and I think that they are both going to be very good NBA players when they do get to the league next year. Very good scoring ability by Malik Thomas, all-around scorer, all 3 levels, really good athlete, very good guard duo there at Arkansas this year. Both I expect to go in the lottery. Darius Acuff could be a top 5 pick. Next is Nate Ament. A lot of people see a lot of potential in Nate Ament at Tennessee. I mean, he is a forward, small forward, or power forward. Not sure what he will play in the NBA at this point, but he has really good size. He can dribble, take it off the dribble as a forward. He can shoot it some as well. I think it needs some polishing up a little bit. Some people see some very high potential in a Nate Emmett, as much as like even a Jason Tatum. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far. He's more of probably a late lottery pick in my opinion at this point, but a ton of season left to go. I think he's more of like a Zachary Rezache, which is showing you something about this draft class. I mean, Zachary Rezache was a number 1 overall draft pick just a couple of years ago, and I just said I have Nate Emmett on the lower end of the lottery, probably from 10 to 14 at this point, but still a ton of potential in Nate Emmett. I see him as more of like a Rezache, maybe even like a Jabari Smith from Auburn. Now on the Rockets, I could see him being that type of player. I don't know if I necessarily see the potential that some people do as far as being a Jason Tatum. I just don't think he's that good off the dribble, being able to handle the ball. I don't think he's that comfortable with it yet. But like I said, earlier in the season, he could polish into that when he does get to the league as well. So we will definitely see. Mike Brown Jr., Mikel Brown Jr. at Louisville, another very good guard prospect. Had an insane game against Kentucky where Louisville knocked him off. Looked really good. You look at him, he doesn't necessarily look like he has the size for the NBA, but I think he does, and he's only going to get bigger and be ready for that moment. I think he's going to be ready for the league next year. Really good playmaker. He can shoot the ball. I mean, he is going to be a very good point guard in the NBA. He is definitely going to give a team some very valuable minutes, whether it is as a starter or as a backup point guard in the NBA, but he looks like a beast. One of my favorite players to watch in college so far this season. Is he going to go in the lottery? I think possibly, but he's definitely going to be a first rounder here this year. Caleb Wilson is another really good forward that has really impressed me so far this year defensively, especially when they faced Kansas. Showed some really good defensive possessions against Darren Peterson, who is my number 1 player in the class, who I think is the best scorer in this draft class. So that was very impressive there as well, and he's shown some scoring ability, rebounding ability as a forward. Caleb Wilson, very, very good prospect here out of North Carolina. At this point, I would expect him to go in the lottery. Surprise freshman this year from Virginia Tech, Nicholas Avdalas. I mean, this guy has really surprised me. He put up 30 points, over 10 assists against Providence. He is a 6'7" guard, point guard at that. I mean, his playmaking ability is out of this world. A lot of people are saying he is a Luka Doncic clone, looking like, hits that Luka step back, is able to lace it from 3, tall point guard. I mean, you can really see the resemblance. I definitely think at this point, Avdalas out of Virginia Tech would be a top 10 pick. I mean, he is playing out of his mind, looking very good for Virginia Tech. Definitely, if you haven't heard of him, take a look at this guy, watch him play. I think an NBA team would take a chance on him in the top 10, but we will see how the rest of the season goes. Also, another last freshman I'm going to talk about before we get to some upperclassmen and how deep this NBA draft class is. Tonde Yesufu out of Baylor, freshman. I mean, Baylor had to revamp their entire roster this year. They're not returning a single guy. But Scott Drew and Baylor have been producing really good NBA talent recently, even just last year in VJ Edgecombe. And Tonde Yesufu looks to be that next guy. He really does show you a little bit of resemblance to a VJ Edgecombe. I mean, he has a ton of athleticism. He's been able to hit the 3 ball. He's going to play defense. You're not going to be getting minutes as a freshman for Scott Drew if you don't play defense. He is a beast. I think he might be more of a small forward, but he's definitely a wing, but definitely the resemblance to VJ Edgecombe. I don't think he's as athletic. I mean, VJ Edgecombe was an athletic freak at Baylor last year, but still very athletic wing here, and I definitely do think he is a first rounder, possibly late lottery pick. Some of the sleeper freshmen to keep an eye out. Kingston Flemings at Houston has had a really good start to the season so far. They haven't played anybody that notable yet, but as a freshman, getting minutes for Coach Kelvin Sampson is very impressive there. Another sleeper freshman, Elijah Arenas, the son of Gilbert Arenas at USC. I definitely would expect him to go in the first round, but it really does depend on how he does play throughout this season. And Stephen Vax at Providence, very surprised freshman there. He has been going off, looks to be the Friars' best player this year. I definitely would take a look at him if you haven't already. Looks like a first rounder at this point in the season. But some of these upperclassmen I really do expect to go in the lottery. And first off, the Texas Tech duo, a sophomore Christian Anderson, a point guard, and the junior and JT Toppin, who is a beast of a big man who just gets it done on the inside. I really do think these two have potential definitely to go in the first round. I think Christian Anderson, the guard, has potential to go in the lottery. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was going to take a huge sophomore leap this year, and he has done so far. His opening game, he put up over 30 points and 10 assists this season, and he has been diming it up for this Texas Tech team so far this year. I mean, Christian Anderson looks like one hell of a prospect, still only a sophomore, young guy. I could definitely see him going in the lottery. Another sophomore that really hasn't lived up to my expectations of what I was expecting for him this year is Auburn's Tahad Pettiford. Another sophomore that is a really good scorer. Haven't really seen the playmaking out of him that I would want to see so far, but it's a long season ahead. I definitely do think he is Auburn's best player, and that will show here soon throughout the rest of the season. Another good sophomore that actually hasn't played yet this year, but transferred from Arizona State over to Kentucky, I think has potential to go in the lottery, is Jaden Quaidance. A big man who is an anchor down low, was averaging almost 3 blocks a game last year as a freshman for Arizona State. And I think a team is definitely going to take a chance on him as a rim protector, because he has shown the potential to not only be that defensive force, but also shoot the 3 ball as well. And you know how valuable that is in the NBA, to be able to not only shoot the 3 ball as a 5, but to block shots and be a rim protector. Oh my gosh, that is like gold for these NBA coaches and GMs. They just want it, man. You got to have it in the league. Jaden Quaidance could provide that to you. And honestly, in a class that doesn't have a lot of really good centers, I mean, a lot of the bigs are looking like forwards towards the lottery. I could see a team that needs a player like that taking a chance on Jaden Quaidance in the lottery. Also, another upperclassman from Iowa, Bennett Sturts. I really like Bennett Sturts' game. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ends up in the lottery. Played at Drake last year, led them to an NCAA tournament win. Now he transferred over to Iowa, and he is a tall 6'5" point guard who can lace the threes, drive to the rack, and shoot the mid-range, shoot on all 3 levels of the floor, and also play make. I mean, he does. I honestly think he could be a better version of what Con Kneppel. We just watched Con Kneppel go, number 4 last year? Bennett Sturts, yeah, he's a bit older because Con Kneppel was a freshman last year, but Bennett Sturts, maybe not as pure of a shooter, but as far as shooting off the dribble, playmaking, I think Bennett Sturts could be a better version of Con Kneppel, and he might not even go in the lottery this year. So that just shows you how deep this class is. Bennett Sturts, one of my favorite players in college basketball. He was last year at Drake, and he's been exciting so far at Iowa as well. Magoon Gwath is one of these centers. I told you it's not really that good of a class as far as centers. There's some really good power forwards, but centers not so much. Magoon Gwath has that potential at San Diego State. Shot blocking, 3-point. I mean, looks like a stud. 7-footer here in Magoon Gwath. Definitely has the potential. I definitely think if he does enter the NBA draft, he would go in the first round. Braden Smith just had an insane game against Alabama. Really showed his potential to be a closer. He is a senior, but I do think a team would take him in the first round. I mean, as a point guard, he is such a good playmaker. He may average over 10 assists this year in college basketball, and that is very impressive on any level, but especially in college basketball, to average close to 10 assists. He's going to be at over 8 for sure. I mean, he is the best playmaker in college basketball. He has improved his scoring so much over the last season and so far this year. Braden Smith is a certified bucket. He got to go in the first round. He's got to be mentioned here as an upperclassman because he's not going to go in the lottery most likely. LeBaron Phelan from Alabama, another really good young playmaker, shooter, scorer, really good guard at Bama. Bama has produced some really good guards recently, and this is going to be another one. Some sleepers to look out for as far as upperclassmen. Alex Caravan almost entered the draft last year, decided to return to UConn. He kind of had a little bit of a down year last year, but he is a great three-point shooter, going to be very valuable as a stretch for some team to come off the bench. I think he could go late first round, early second round. Yaxel Lindenberg was another player that almost entered the NBA draft last year, decided to transfer to Michigan instead, was a beast at UAB last year. Hasn't performed that great so far at Michigan. I mean, I was really expecting him to put up National Player of the Year numbers. Hasn't done that so far, but really potential here as a big man as far as being a playmaker and scorer and being able to stretch the floor as well. Really, really talented player, and depending on how this season goes, I could see him being drafted pretty decently high. Thomas Hall, I really do think he is a better prospect from Florida over Alex Caravan. He has really outperformed him this year. A lot of people were expecting Alex Condon, excuse me. A lot of people expected Alex Condon to really break out this year, but it looks like Thomas Hall is actually the guy who's going to do it and be that prospect. I could see him going in the first round. Another Florida player is Boogie Fland, and that's really, I mean, just goes to show you how good Darius Acuff Jr. is. I mean, Boogie Fland I don't think was going to start over Darius Acuff Jr. if he stayed at Arkansas, transferred over to Florida. I still think he has potential to be an NBA player. I don't think he's as good of a prospect as Darius Acuff Jr., but Boogie Fland's still a great player, definitely a sleeper upperclassman at this point. He's a sophomore to take a look at. Cohen Carr is one of the most athletic players in college basketball there at Michigan State. Definitely an upperclassman to take a look at. Looks like he may come out of the draft this year and be a possible first rounder. Solo Ball is the sleeper guard who is a great scorer at UConn. Definitely to take a look at as a sleeper. And the last sleeper I have is Peja Stojakovic's son, Andrej Stojakovic at Illinois. He has played very well so far this year, and he is not only a three-point shooter, because I know you guys are thinking Peja's son, he's got to be a demon from the three-point line. He is a good shooter, but he can get it done at all three levels, get to the foul line as well. He is a beast. Look out for him as far as being a late first rounder this year. This class is so deep. You can find value anywhere in this draft, but the top of the draft class is really good as well. Like I said, there's 3 guys that I think could go number 1 in a lot of draft classes, and Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, and AJ Dybansa. And even after that, Darius Acuff Jr. is a very, very good point guard prospect as well, who could be a superstar in the NBA as well. So a lot of really good talent, a lot of deep talent in this draft class. One of the best I've ever seen. Let me know if you guys want to see more NBA draft content like this. Big boards, mock drafts, stuff like that. Wanting to sprinkle a little bit of NBA stuff in here, as I mostly do college basketball content on the channel. So let me know what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. On the road to 10K, almost there. And thank you so much for watching.